Hello. Hello, everybody. If you're there, I don't know. Maybe perhaps I'm speaking to the void. Perhaps I'm not. This is Owen. My name is Owen. Got Man United versus Liverpool coming up. If and when some guests arrive, I hope they're on their way. Otherwise, it's just going to be me monologuing for a while. This is a bit like Alan Bennett's Nightmare. It's a talking head, it's a talking sun. Talking to you, whoever you are, wherever you are. Hello. So today, on the agenda today, if and when some guests arrive, is we're going to talk about net spend. Okay, we're going to talk about the brilliance of Jurgen Klopp, the amazing job he's done compared to him and compared to himself and Pep Guardiola and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We're going to talk about Ole's authority, Ole, the fact that he's engineered another comeback in the Champions League from 2-0 down to a 3-2 victory the other day against Atalanta. And is that a good thing for Liverpool ultimately? Because it means he gets to stay at the wheel. And Ole, if he's anything, then he's at the wheel. Ole at the wheel. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about goalkeepers as well. Allison Becker versus David De Gea. Some people think there's a competition. You know, the United fans. I'll get their view about whether and we'll look at the stats. We'll look at the details. We'll look at the data as to whether it's true that there is a genuine sense that there is a competition between these goalkeepers or not. We're going to look at the other debate, if it even is a debate, of Trent versus Wan-Bissaka, especially the defensive stats of between the two of them, but also the attacking ones. We're going to do a combined 11, which at the moment will be me combining with myself. To give this 11, and we're going to talk about Ronaldo. We're going to talk about Salah. We're going to talk about tactics, and we're going to talk about Curtis Jones. Basically, do the United fans know who he is? Do they know how good he is, or not? I don't know. So hopefully, we'll have Fergus joining us, and we'll have Tom joining us before too long. But before anything gets going, let's have a look at some pre-match facts. From Google, of all places. I'm going to share my tabs here. If I can, share the screen, get the window up. Here it is. Share. Sonny and share. Look at that. Sonny and share. So Manchester United have won. Oh, it's too big. Let me make that smaller. Just one of their last 10 Premier League meetings with Liverpool, drawing 6, losing 3. And they lost this exact fixture 4-2 last season, of course. Mohamed Salah dropping to his knees, being a genius, and scoring a goal that settled that match 4-2. And it surprised me this. If we get some guests, we shall talk about this. The second fact I want to talk about is following their 4-2 win at Man United in May, Liverpool are looking to secure consecutive league victories at Old Trafford for the first time since January 2002. All right. And then Manchester United shipped 4 goals in a home Premier League game for only the 5th time in last season's encounter, with Liverpool losing 4-2. The last team to score 4+ goals in consecutive top-flight visits was Burnley in 1961-62. They won 4-1. And in 1962-63, they won 5-2. So if Liverpool can score 4 goals, of course, I would probably cry. Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 25 Premier League matches against United teams since losing 2-1 away to Manchester United in March 2018. Of course, by the United teams, they mean Leeds United, Sheffield United, Newcastle United, etc., etc. And should Liverpool avoid defeat here in this match, it would be the joint longest unbeaten run against United teams in the history of the Football League. A guy who's going to play is Salah. And I want to have a look at some sensational Mo Salah goals because you can, because they're here. They're here on YouTube. We're going to see some Salah goals, some sensational Salah goals. So there you go. Let me just switch off these subtitles. Okay. And we can see Mo Salah running through here. This is against Arsenal. What a guy. What a goal. Mo Salah running down the wing, cracking it in. Mo Salah goals. I'm just going to mute myself. We can just watch the genius of Mo. Okay, that's going to come back soon. I'm going to share it with a bit of audio if I can. Share it with the audio because this is very exciting. Share the system audio. Is that going to work? Yeah. Okay. Share it, man. All right.
Milner's gone in, heads it down towards Sturridge. Here's Salah's opportunity. Buys some time and slots it away. It's lucky 7 for Liverpool, and it's 18 on the season for the top scorer, Mo Salah.
Mohamed Salah shrugged off Cuco Martina, wriggled through and scores brilliantly. How did Mohamed Salah do that? Salah full of running, taking on Daniels, steps inside him and gets the shot away and scores. Fully deserved. And that's 20 goals this season. He's managed to find Mane. Here's Mohamed Salah, wriggling through and scoring. Liverpool level. 7th minute of the second half. Mohamed Salah. Firmino a little deeper just now. Milner into Salah. Salah's got away from Maguire and scores again.
Harry Maguire, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Maguire.
Scoring. Well, it's a nice idea. Henderson out of his goal. Here's Salah. Does he go for it? He does. He scored. Henderson caught out. And Manchester City are surely going to be beaten here at Anfield today. And ball as the Liverpool shout. Salah just gets on with the game. And Salah wriggles through. And Salah has scored for Liverpool.
I've got to say I love that goal against Spurs in injury time. We still didn't win the match because that guy was well offside to equalise.
Oh, he's rattled the post, and Salah too.
People don't know how good he is, do they? They do not know how good that goal is, for example.
Mohamed Salah, danger bells here for Watford. Salah goal. How many times have we seen him do that? Sensational from Mohamed Salah once again. And now Salah, is this the hat-trick? Mohamed Salah, it is! It's a treble for Mohamed Salah. Sadio Mane's on the move. Here's Sadio Mane, he's in here for Liverpool. Was he touched? Mo Salah can pick up the pieces and score. It's a goal for Liverpool. It's another goal for Mo Salah. It's an away goal, and Liverpool's grip on the tie is strengthened now. Towards Salah, brilliant! Magnificent Mo has done it again. Mo Salah goes for it again. Oh, Mo Salah! Liverpool's Egyptian king with another crowning moment in the Champions League. Here's Mo Salah. He's in. A little delicate one. Oh, yes!
is on fire. It's another super goal for Mo Salah to double Liverpool's lead.
Suddenly there's a gap for Salah to run into. He's taking on Ake. It's still Salah! It's magnificent. 2.5 minutes into the second half. That's for Salah to chase from Lallana, and chase Salah will. And Cook only got something on it, and Mo Salah's got the opportunity for the hat-trick. Still going. And that's the match ball.
Salah's rolled his way in, but he's got support. Salah in! He needs anybody else! He never goes on a night like this! It's Liverpool scoring sensation in the Champions League! And he makes himself
That's
another
an important one.
really needed it again.
Good grief. Get your comments in, guys. Brendan, nice to see you here. Get your comments in. We just went and looked at this. As we do, it's a side goal.
Goes for the gap and the shot and scores, and that is what Liverpool are all about. And the title race pendulum swings again. Oh, Henderson looks as though he's got a real problem. Oh my goodness! That is a wonder strike from Mo Salah. Formidable country, and Salah. Too easy pass, Luis. Look at the pace. Look at the finish. Superb. He made a bit of a fool of David Luiz there. It was brilliant from Salah. It was poor defending.
Salah. Firmino. Brilliant. Salah. Superb.
Mo Salah. Mo Salah. Look at this. I mean, you can watch it all day, can't you? He's absolutely superb. What a player. Get your comments in. Get your questions in. We're going to start talking about United Liverpool when our guests arrive. But in the meantime, I'm going to play some lovely YouTube videos. These are on YouTube.
Salah is in here.
Streaming live from
what can he
YouTube.
squeeze in? Oh, that's what he can squeeze in. That is just a peach of a finish.
Peach of a
from Mohamed
finish.
Salah on Kane Zera. Looking for Mohamed Salah. Salah cuts inside and scores. Mohamed Salah for Liverpool. Salah's in the middle. Mane looks up. Origi.
Fergus, you're here. Hello.
I've made it in. Hello, good evening. Finally made it on.
It's really nice. Hang on, let me just mute the sound on that tab there. So I was just waiting for some guests. Absolutely beautiful that you're with us. And we were just watching some Mo Salah goals together, you know. It's a great way to warm up. Can I just ask you, as you're a United fan, really nice that you're here. Thank you very much. Could you please tell the viewers and the listeners about yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. My name's Fergus. I'm a big, huge United fan. Been watching the club. Been going to games. I think my first one was 2010. Used to be a season ticket holder. Don't quite have time for that now, but I do get along to, I'd say, half the games a season. I'll be there on Sunday. Wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss Man United Liverpool. Yeah, just big fan.
Wonderful.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's great, and thank you very much for being here. You know, because we welcome opposition fans here. Of course, we're rivals. Of course, we both want our teams to win on the weekend. But it's really great to hear your views, and you know, it's a rivalry. It's definitely not a hatred here on Cop On. It's absolutely brilliant. Thanks for joining me. We've got loads. I just, you know, whilst these goals are playing from YouTube, in case YouTube want to ban me, this is actually streaming live from YouTube, so you can ban yourself, YouTube. But, you know, this, you know, are you scared? Oh, sorry. How scared are you of Mohamed Salah on Sunday?
Oh, 100% I'm worried. I think on form, it's been said a lot. Best player in the world on form at the moment. It's ridiculous, his numbers. And he scored in the last 9 games, is it, or something like that? I mean,
he scored in 9 consecutive games, and he has 16 goals and assists in, I think, 10 games this season.
Yeah, I mean,
or 11 games.
That's almost Phil Jones numbers there.
Yeah, almost. I mean,
he's been quite good for my the old fantasy Premier League team, but I am quite worried at what he's going to do to And it's still injured Harry Maguire, who will be played, no doubt, by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Raphael Varane. It won't be Varane, it'll be Lindelof. They're both, both about the pace of a snail, so it might be problematic. Yeah.
I mean, he's got the better a couple of times. Salah has got the better of Harry Maguire a couple of times before.
Not the only player.
But no, I mean, that's the thing. I was looking at some stats before the match. Oh, that's good timing. Wonderful timing. Okay, let me just stop sharing that. Because I was looking at some stats before the match, and it really surprised me how leaky United's defence has been. For example, let me just see this defensive stat. Where is it? I think, so in the last... Sorry, that's it. Man United are without a clean sheet in any of their last 9 home league matches, which is your longest run without a clean sheet
since the 60s
since a
or
run
50s,
of 10.
Well,
it was between September 1970 and February 71.
70. Right,
so
okay.
it was since the 70-71 season that your defence hasn't been so leaky. What's been going wrong?
Well, I think if you look at our games of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we always tend to concede in the first half and then sort of try and fight back. You saw it on Wednesday of Atalanta. We always seem to sort of have a lapse of concentration, and then it seems to be that goal that seems to just get us going, which really, really frustrating. I just wish that we could come out firing like a City or a Liverpool and hit the box and give the chance to Ronaldo, a player of the quality of Ronaldo deserves, whereas we're just sort of leaking chances. Someone makes a mistake, we're just absorbing all these chances, or someone scores a wonder goal, knowing our luck.
I mean, it's so. I mean, you're not very confident of the first half. You can imagine Liverpool, but I don't know. Is this a game where all previous form goes out the window?
I think we'll win. I genuinely believe we'll win. If you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer,
why? Yeah, go on. Why?
Well, you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I wouldn't be annoyed if he's sacked right now. I'll put my neck on the line. He won't be sacked, but I will say one thing. If you look at his tenure as Manchester United manager, you look at the last time he was about to be sacked. We were speaking to Pochettino, and then he just starts to get these results. We're down 2-0 at Atalanta, and we win 3-2. That feels like a huge turning point. And then I just feel we're going to go on a run. I would not be surprised if we win 3-0, 3-1 maybe on Sunday. And then, Ole's at the wheel again, beating Liverpool, Old Trafford. What an atmosphere that would be. And then, you go into City, and if you can take another three points from that, win against Tottenham, then he's firmly back on the road,
Well, yes, but sorry, I've watched a bit of Man United. I missed your game against Atalanta, but I've watched you quite a lot over the past couple of years because, frankly speaking, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's been a lot more fun to watch. In fact, for the last few years since Mourinho, it's been more fun to watch United from a Liverpool standpoint.
I can imagine.
Because you do keep making these crazy results exactly like Liverpool used to do. So I mean, for me, it's
but Liverpool used to play good football
in the 2000s when.
Yeah.
We did use Liverpool, and there is something about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that I mean, I want to talk about the net spend now, but specifically about Ole. Let me just share something that was in the Times. Hang on, this graphic here is from the Times. Let me just see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Shall I zoom in for you? I don't know.
It's loading on my screen. It's got the loading icon.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, basically, let me just try and make it so it fits on the screen. I can see you. I don't know if you can see it.
Sorry?
Since
You've
December 22nd, 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you again. I can hear you now.
So yeah, maybe this. Okay, maybe I'll just stop sharing the screen. I'll just tell you what it is, okay? Maybe it's easier. The Premier League record since December the 22nd, 2018, which I believe is when Ole signed his contract. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
December
And it went down from there, really, in results terms, yeah. something around that. I would say. I wouldn't know the exact date.
Yeah, so he signed his contract. He became the manager on December the 22nd, 2018. Since that time, Manchester United have played 105 Premier League games. Okay, You've won 55, drawn 29, and lost 21, with a win percentage of 52.4%. Liverpool have played 104 matches, won
Not sure I want to hear this one.
drawn 19, and lost 13. Excuse me, sorry, I am sorry. Well, a little bit sorry. But with a win percentage of 69.2%. So there's 17%.
And you wouldn't, okay, there are some, sorry.
No, I used to say because you were talking about the part, he a grand total 12 million. And he's got a net. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I'm struggling. It's quite choppy.
Sometimes
it's quite choppy. I don't know if you can hear me. It might be on my side that I'm not transferring it. I'm not tech expert.
No, I think it's on my side. I don't know. Is it okay now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm back now. Okay, sorry.
I think I did sort of get the gist of what you were saying. Yeah.
Well, he spent, just to give you the figures, he has spent 412 million in total, 288 million net spend, and he plays like Big Sam tactically.
Yeah.
But I think for this weekend, those tactics will work well against Liverpool because, Atletico the other day against Liverpool, they played very deep and they played on the counter-attack and they exploited the space very well. Do you think that tactically Ole's plan will be good for Sunday?
I'm not so sure actually. I would prefer if we tried to take the game to Liverpool and just bombard your box. And I just always think it's about chances because at the moment the strikers are just doing a graveyard shift. You look at Ronaldo when you're watching him in the games. It's different when you watch it in the games and on the TV. Ronaldo's just isolated. He doesn't get the ball. He's getting a 5 out of 10 of matches. That's not his fault. You give Ronaldo 3 or 4 chances, he'll score 2, like guaranteed at least 2. And I think if we just push forward, didn't play 2 defensive midfielders, like say you play a McTominay, Van de Beek, Fernandes, for example, and then we push up the pitch and we sort of bombard your box. I think that's tactical play. We should play, but all these sort of long ball, hoof ball, pass it sideways, Scott McTominay, Fred, I don't think that's going to work against you because you guys are so high pressing. I do sort of worry about our creativity under Ollie's tactical direction.
And I don't know, speaking about net spend, I mean, Klopp has a net spend of 20 million in that time compared to 288 million. And people say that
you do have to factor in a competent board who can sell, play it like Coutinho. That all that money would have contributed quite a lot to your net spend in a favourable
contributed manner. Nothing in these particular sums because it's only since December since Ole came in.
That is true. Yeah, you're right.
So Ole came in and it's 288 million versus 20 million in his time there.
Yeah.
So are you saying that Ole's had this time to build the team? He had to build the team because the team he inherited was pretty rubbish.
The way I see it is, Ollie is like the builder. He's limited. He can build the foundations, but now you need a joiner or someone he's got more skills than maybe a bog standard builders, for example. And I think Ollie has done a great job in building foundations, building us back from where we were under Mourinho. We've got a bit more passion for the shirt. He understands the club. He's done a great job, all of that. Now it's a time for the skilled craftsman, the Antonio Conte, to come in and deliver the league title to Manchester United that we've been waiting for almost 10 years.
And do you think with your current squad, it's a feasible thing? Oh, sorry, we've got Tom joining us as well. Sorry, Tom. Yeah, you're here as well. Hi, Tom. I don't know if you can hear me.
All right, how's you?
Hi, very well, thank you. Are you today?
What's up, mate?
Tom?
You cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my connection's bad. Sorry. Are you okay today? How are you?
Yeah. I'm fine. How's your day been?
Excellent. Very good, thank you. Very sunny. Thank you for joining us. That's really kind of you. Fergus was saying. Well, I was just asking Fergus because I asked you this the other day when we did the preview. Do you think that a new manager like, say, Fergus, you would want Conte to come in? Would he be able to get a lot better results with the same squad, or will he need to overhaul it?
I think he'll get better results with the players that are here now, but he would want to bring in his own players. Some of them that are in the team now would not suit his system at all. Like Wan-Bissaka, you might as well sell him before Conte even comes in. That's one player that we didn't need to buy then for 50 million. You could say probably maybe similar situation with possibly might not want De Gea in terms of his aging on a bit. Conte likes a bit of youth, a bit of more systemized in terms of goalkeepers who can play out from the back or confidently pick a pass out for a player. De Gea's, that's not his strong points in his game, but we move. McTominay and Fred, that'd be abolished. I mean, that'd probably be a godsend for a lot of United fans. You look at some of the midfielders he's worked with, Pirlo, Brozovic, the most recent one at Inter. And, it's not, Fred and McTominay are nowhere near those sort of players at all. And when he plays this five at the back system, you're only going to have, he's probably going to play two split strikers. And you've got Ronaldo, Cavani, Rashford, Sancho, all these players who are these great attacking players that we've got who are going to be fighting for two places, realistically. If you're playing a back five and you're going to have three midfielders in there or whatever, then you're only going to have two players up top.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. Who would you, if you bring in someone, I mean, don't get me wrong, when I'm at the games, I'm still backing the manager, singing for the manager, but I do sort of privately have my doubts, as we all do. Who would you bring in then? Are you looking at Zidane as another one who's quite popular?
No, I wouldn't look at Zidane. I said it before when I come on the preview for this, when we had this discussion. I said my person, I'd do whatever it takes. I'd pay whatever money it is, and I'd get Ten Hag out of Ajax straight away. Is one of the, either him or Nagelsmann for me are the two best upcoming coaches in my opinion. And
but do we want another project though? Like
I wouldn't see it as a project. I would see it as the only thing that Ten Hag's going to come in and do differently is he's going to utilise the midfield a lot more than what say previous managers have done. And he comes with his own philosophy, his own sort of demeanour, so to speak. You saw the way. He'll get a game. You saw the way. The previous couple of nights ago, we completely dismantled Dortmund. Haaland's this great generational sensation. Kept him quiet for the full 90 minutes. Didn't really do much in the game. And I think Ten Hag's one of those coaches who, if say Manchester United didn't snap him up, I think another top European club will do eventually at some point. He will go to a bigger club, so to speak. I think if Koeman goes at Barcelona would be in for him. I think if, when Klopp moves on, if Ten Hag's on the market, it might be an option there. Same with Manchester City. If Pep, leaves in a couple of years' time at the end of his contract. So there's a lot of options out there. But yeah, if I was going to go for somebody, I think somebody who fits the purpose and somebody who, in my opinion, is going to work with the ownership that we have, because the Glazers aren't going anywhere at the moment. And I think Ten Hag would work with the Glazers better than
that's definitely an issue of Conte. He would go.
Conte would have the outbursts. He did it at Chelsea with Abramovich when he felt like he weren't getting backed or anything in the media, and then he had the big blow up with it. But yeah, it all depends on what your preferences of football. I know Conte, very systemized, very tactical. Probably decent with the squad that we've got, but if we're looking at more long term, he'll move on after 2 years. Wherever Conte goes, it depends what he leaves the squad in. He's kind of a Mourinho. He'll come in, he'll build a team, he'll go at it maybe a year or two, and then he'll be off. And then it just
There's a lifetime of managers.
Yeah, how big's the fall down going to be from a reign like that? But yeah, that's who I would go for. I would go for Ten Hag.
It's very interesting, but I will say, from an outsider's perspective, like when you look at the fact that the Glazers have given Ole a net spend of 288 million, United are, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Some people would say the biggest if you look at commercial revenue, etc. Yep. So it's a hugely attractive proposition. Even if, the Glazers might be piling debt onto the club, and where this money comes from is another question. But the fact that they do back their manager with a heck of a lot of cash usually, and I think it'd be a very, very attractive proposition for most managers in world football to go to United, as prestigious name, and put them, back at the top, or try to, or at least compete with, Guardiola and Klopp, and it's really hard, but really hard league. But I want to talk about goalkeepers, because just maybe this will be fairly quick, but I think David De Gea has had a bit of a renaissance recently, because he had a couple of dodgy years. Looking at for the stats from the beginning of the 17-18 season, for example, Allison Becker is at the top of the list of goalkeepers in the world, having saved, according to the stats site fbref.com, 30 goals, or 29.8 goals for Liverpool. This is based on, shot angle and power and the chances of them scoring. Whereas David De Gea he's saved 12.6 goals. Is he coming back to his best, Fergus, do you think, David De Gea?
100%, I would say. Okay, you look at the last 2 years, he's not been at the level that we sort of came to expect with De Gea. He was winning club's player of the year. Shows how dire it was under Mourinho when we were just absorbing all those shots. But he's almost at the point where you can start to think about sort of Manchester United legend if he carries on the way he's going. He's been here for a long, long time. I think this season he's been fabulous. I mean, you look at that, even though we lost to Leicester, when you're conceding 4 goals and you're still getting man of the match in a lot of fans' eyes, I think that sort of shows how he's going. I think the whole sort of last season thing with, is it going to be Dean? Is it going to be David? Now we all know it's David who's starting. He's been brilliant. He doesn't have to think about, I make one mistake, I'm out. He's not got that sort of negative mindset following him around, and he's able to make these phenomenal saves that we know he is. Because he may not be able to sort of play out of the back like an Henderson or someone like that. Not stopping, you'd have to say he's one of, if not the best in the world. Like, some of the saves he can pull off are ridiculous. And I think this season has been a real sort of renaissance, as you put it, for him.
Great answer. Would you echo that, Fergus? You're confident in your goalkeeper?
So did you mean me, or?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Sorry, excuse me, Tom. Sorry, my mind has gone. My mind has exploded. Tom, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, I would definitely back what Fergus has said. I think he's had a bit of a resurrection. A lot of people are thinking, well, he's dead. He's, getting to that age where, it's supposed to be the best sort of, the peak of many players' careers and stuff. There was obviously a lot of rumours with some of the mistakes that he had last season, which put a lot of jeopardy in who should be the goalkeeper at, such a club like Manchester United. It shouldn't be, we shouldn't be debating what a goalkeeper, a goalkeeper at any football club. You always have a number one, and you always have somebody who's going to have to be second best. And if they can deal with it, then great. If they can't, then Look at your options going elsewhere. I think someone like Dean Henderson deserves to play. He deserves to be a starter somewhere. Maybe it's not at Manchester United. Maybe it's I don't know, a Newcastle or something. They might, go for a goalkeeper in January. You don't know. It's he deserves to play Henderson, but with De Gea is the performances he's put in. He's not. I can't fault him in any game or whenever we've conceded goals. He's not had one of those, blunder moments where you can say flat out and it's David De Gea's fault or anything like that. There's none of that, and we're definitely seeing the better side of him. If we can. It's like Virgil said, if you can concede 4 goals and in a lot of fans' eyes, they're still the man of the match, you must be doing something right if you're that. But, in terms of such as even player of the season, especially for Manchester United player of the season, you might as well give him it now because, I can't see any, faltering efforts or anything. We're playing not great at the moment, but he's still pulling a lot of big saves out of the bag. That Leicester game was a key one for me because I think if David De Gea doesn't play in that, I think we probably can. The game ends 6-2, 7, maybe even 8-2 with some of the chances that Leicester had.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Okay.
They had a lot of really good chances. And
there was that one that was going like top corner,
and
he sort of got fingertip saved and it hit the post. And
there was the corner from who was it? I can't remember. I think it was Madison put the corner in, and Soyuncu had the header toward the back post, which he pushed onto the post. It was a chaotic game and could have easily ended by a lot more bigger of a scoreline than it did. With if De Gea wouldn't have been in there, I personally think so. Anyway,
so is your sort of defense? Because I want to talk about move on to the defense and Wan-Bissaka because there were maybe a year ago, I don't know now, but people who debating who was the better player, Wan-Bissaka or Trent. Certainly, I think Gareth Southgate has this debate in his head even now. I did try and have a look at some statistics, and according to SofaScore, Wan-Bissaka has 82 out of 100 defensively. Sorry, out of 99, 82, and Trent has 65. Whereas Trent, surprisingly, is ahead of Wan-Bissaka in tackling, 69 to 60. But then, of course, you've got other things like technique and attacking prowess and creativity, and there's only one winner in that one. But pass completion rate, for example, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is 86.2%. per 90 over the last year. Okay, 86.2% pass completion. So he hardly ever loses the ball, it puts him in the 93rd percentile if you compare him to right backs across Europe, across the big 5 leagues, including the Premier League. But then you move on to Trent, and his pass completion is only 75%. But of course, he makes so many risky passes, and it puts him. I mean, he's in the 99th percentile on 1, 2, 3, 4 different metrics. It's a bit crazy. Trent's stats are a bit nuts. So yeah, if you look at according to FBref.com, their stats, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, his tackling is better, his interceptions are better. His blocks are better and all that stuff. All of his defensive stats are better, I think that's where the debate ends, though, Fergus, is that Wan-Bissaka's better defensively, but I don't think it's by all that much. But then the other sides of the game, you said you would get rid of him, Fergus, would you?
Was it Tommy said that you would get rid of him, but I wouldn't necessarily.
I said that Conte would get rid of him.
Conte would. Yes. Excuse me, good Lord, my brain. Excuse me, it's been a very long day and a very long week. Excuse me, Tom said that. Yes.
Yeah. I would say with Wan-Bissaka, he's very much a developing player. You look at when he first signed, he was amazingly good. Then he sort of had a dip, and I think you can see the development with Wan-Bissaka. We know what his strength is one-on-one tackling. I hate to be critical, but when they say, he's the best defender in the league, why isn't he playing centre-back? A lot of the time, especially when you're watching him live, he does get caught out quite positionally. You may disagree with me, but that's sort of how I see it. He does get caught Especially last season, he was getting sucked into Lindelof a lot. And I actually think you look at Trent in that last game against Watford, they were through. I know it was offside, but he made an amazing tackle. And I think you wouldn't be too audacious by saying that Alexander-Arnold is one of the best right back in the world at this point. And I don't think it's really fair to compare Wan-Bissaka to him at this current time. But I do see potential with Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Great answer. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Fergus. So yeah, a combined 11 then. Let's do a combined 11. In goal, you're both, saying that De Gea's coming back to his best, but would you pick him? Would you both pick him over Allison?
Right
Tom?
Right now, to be honest with you, I would. In terms of right now, I probably would. I think
Okay.
I think Alisson's been amazing, but he's had the players around him, I would say, so to speak. Wherever you look in that Liverpool team, you see world-class players, world-class defenders in front of him. Everybody's got their own opinion on certain players. Maguire, for me, he's far, far away from being anywhere near world-class. I'm not going to disagree. I don't, if anybody wants to disagree with me on that, that's fine. So Varane, world-class defender, won everything there is to win in the game. So there's no reason why not to show, brilliant last season, player of the season for me in terms of Manchester United, definitely. Wan-Bissaka, brilliant defender. And at the end of the day, that is what he's supposed to do, is defend. I know more in the modern game, there's the attacking sides of the game and stuff with fullbacks, like with Trent and stuff, the modernisation of football. But at the end of the day, the position that you play is, a right back. It's a defensive position at the end of the day. But with the goalkeeper, you put, the defences side to side with each other. I would say De Gea is more suited in terms of there's going to be a lot of shots. Let's put it like that in this game. There's going to be a lot of shots. There's going to be a lot of chances. And I think De Gea will make a lot more, possibly more key saves than Allison will, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, okay. I see where you're coming from. Of course, I disagree, but I see where you're coming from. What do you think, Fergus?
Is Loris Karius available for selection?
Unfortunately for you, no, he's not.
Oh, what a shame.
Who would you have?
I think the Manchester United bias, in a way, it's very hard to separate these two phenomenal keepers. And I think off this season, I think David De Gea has had more chances to make himself look better in a way than Allison. They both had a few mistakes in the past few years as well. But both of them have looked pretty solid this year. But you don't notice Allison making these saves that you do with De Gea. So I think De Gea, for me, just sort of gets it. But obviously, I'll be very, very happy with either of them playing for my side.
Well, see, it's interesting. I wonder if you guys watch Liverpool games as much as I watch Manchester United games, which is just sort of sometimes, basically. And I do see where you're coming from with David De Gea, but I haven't seen all the matches like you have. So you mean, like I said, I missed the Leicester match, for example. So you tell me how brilliantly De Gea is playing and how in form he is. That's great, but I can also tell you that Allison Becker has been huge for us this season. He had one dodgy game against Brentford when we conceded 3, and when Allison has a slightly dodgy game, we do tend to concede 3 because he's pulled off some amazing saves to keep the score down. Our defence hasn't been brilliant this season, unfortunately, Liverpool's, but Allison he's been huge. So of course I'm going to choose Allison in goal. Okay, at right back. Interesting what you were saying before, Tom, about Wan-Bissaka. His job is to defend. Part of the reason why his defensive stats are so much better is because he makes so many more tackles than Trent. And if you look at their average positions, it's almost like a different position because Trent is so far up in Liverpool's system. So it's quite hard to, to pick. But if we're going to go, say, 4 at the back, then I'm going to pick Trent every time, every day of the week, every nanosecond of every minute. I'm going to pick Trent over Wan-Bissaka. But what do you think, Tom? Would you pick Wanby, as the Argentinian commentator calls him?
I'll give you one word. No, I'll be very honest. I'm not biased in terms of what I see. What I see on the field, I see Trent's got brilliant attacking prowess. He's got the basics of the defensive side of it, and that's all you need. Defensive side, really. You can be brilliant going forward, and if you've got the basics of defending, there's not a problem with that. That other players can, if need be, bail you out when you've got a world class, probably one of the best centre backs, if not the best in the world, in Van Dyke next year. 9 times out of 10, I think they can bail you out if you have a bit of trouble getting back or whatever, or bombing forward too much. But no, I would pick Trent every day of the week if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. What about you, Fergus?
Yeah, I have to agree. To be honest, as much as I like Wan-Bissaka, as much as I like Wan-Bissaka, I don't think there's much competition between him and Alexander-Arnold. One's world class, one's good, I think.
Okay. Well, all right. That's very honest. Let's go on to one. Staying with you, Ferguson. Something that might cause a bit more debates, because, of course, I mean, I'm not going to ask you about Virgil Van Dyke, because you'll probably both take him. Speak now if you wouldn't. But let's assume everyone is going to take Virgil. But alongside him, I could not choose anyone other than Joel Matip, because I don't know how many Liverpool games you've seen this season, but Joel Matip has been unbelievable, like really unbelievable. Like, he reminds me of Rio Ferdinand, a prime Rio Ferdinand this season in terms of his elegance. Apart from he's not as elegant as Rio. Sometimes he just looks a bit weird and lanky, but most of the time he looks elegant. And he's been supreme, dribbling forward, passing accuracy is like 96% or something like that. He's been a monster, and I wonder if Fergus, you would choose a United player over Joel Matip to partner Virgil in a combined 11.
100%. I'm going with Rafael Varane. I'm sure it's no surprise. Okay. I think a pairing of Rafael Varane and Virgil van Dijk at the back, you're not getting many goals past that. I mean, Varane has won everything. He's got the experience of winning Champions League titles. And then you've got Virgil van Dijk, probably the best centre-back in the world. Matip, he has been good this season, but how long is it before he gets a knee injury and he's out for 3 months?
Oh, yeah, but it hasn't happened yet. And I just wonder, because he's the most underrated player for me, because I would put him in the top 5 centre-backs in the world, and I presume you wouldn't. And I wouldn't. I want to know, how many Liverpool games have you actually seen this year? How much have you paid attention to the form of the big man, Joel?
I'm not going to lie. I don't watch every single game, but I will watch the highlights on YouTube. Okay, maybe it's not a fair sort of assumption of the whole game, but I have seen some of the full games. Doing my detective work on the Matip, I think he's a very, very solid defender. Can I ask you a question? How much does Matip bring in terms of how Liverpool play out from the back, and what does he bring sort of going for, say, as a corner? Does he bring aerial presence or something else other than a good?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, no, he's been amazing in terms of bringing the ball out from the back. You can't get the ball off him. Like I said, his passing accuracy is above, I believe, Virgil van Dijk's this season. He plays these little balls out to the fullbacks that are just superb, especially to Trent down his side. And dribbling, as I said before, it's sometimes he's like Maradona, dribbling out from the back. It's crazy.
He should be playing up top instead of Firmino.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who say he should be a number 10. He's been superb. Have you seen him, Tom? Or are you just going for Varane regardless, or have you seen them both and you're still going for Varane?
If every Manchester United centre half was fully fit, then I would have to choose Varane. I'm sorry, in my case and argument, Virgil Van Dyke's got the pedigree in terms of being the best defender in the world. Varane's got all the trophies. And in terms of a partnership, like Ferguson said, I wouldn't see many goals getting past those two, and I wouldn't see many players getting past the pair of them at all if they were in the same team. Matip, for me, I would put him probably top 10 defenders in the world. I think he's very underrated in terms of he's very consistent. And
Is he a leader as well? Would you see Matip as a leader?
I wouldn't see him necessarily as a leader, but I would see him more in terms of he'll bring stability to the team. For example, whatever Van Dijk lacks, maybe, I don't know, if he's having an off day or, he's not been fully fit or something, he's got the legs to cover Van Dijk if need be. Or, you need to play a ball in behind or something. Brilliant at doing that, bringing the ball out and stuff. Brilliant. Varane's been doing that for Manchester United. Similar thing this season. Both Varane and Maguire do that. I'm not going to argue a toss for Maguire because there's no contest in putting Maguire in there ahead of Matip or anything like that. There's no point. But if Varane's fully fit and everything, then I would probably go for Varane over Matip. But if not, then yeah, Matip. Why not?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's a game of opinions. You both put Varane over Matip, and that's fine.
Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, you're preaching to the converted here because although I do watch quite a lot, I am busy. So you obviously you two probably watch more Liverpool than me. So I mean, if you rate Matip that highly, then there maybe is more of a debate than there is in my head. But yeah.
I mean, I could talk about Joel Matip all night, but we got to move on because we've just got a few minutes left to see if we can get through the combined 11, or at least through the defence, because we've got to choose a left back now. Andy Robbo every day, Fergus. No,
I have to disagree.
Oh, what? You're going Luke Shaw?
Yeah, Luke Shaw.
He's dodgy this
season.
Go
Brandon Williams, but he's out on loan in Norwich, so can't choose him. But have to concede with Shaw, I'm afraid. Well, I think Shaw, I will admit, has had a couple of off games this season. However, last season Shaw was far better than Robertson. Right, I'm going to put it out there. I had the time.
He was a little bit better.
I had the time to watch both games, and I think Shaw maybe not far, okay, better. Shaw offered more last season. He was phenomenal for both Manchester United and England. And I think Shaw is someone who just seems to get better and better. Like Robertson, has he hit a plateau? I don't know. A very good plateau, right?
No.
I think
he just needed a little break. He needed to put his Scottish slippers on and put his feet up and have a lovely little break.
I think his best season was your Premier League title-winning season, when him and Trent were ridiculous. Last year, I think he went down a level. I don't think that's unfair to say, and I think Shaw went up quite a few levels.
He was tired. He played about 65 games last season. The team only played 58, but Robertson played about 65. He was practicing in the park outside with the kids. He was tired a little bit, but this season he's back because we now have Kostas Tsimikas, the Greek scouser.
He's reliable for you. He's Mr. Reliable for Liverpool is Andy Robertson, where you wouldn't say Shaw is the same. Maybe that's something. If you're comparing the two, that's definitely something that Robertson has over Shaw.
And going forward,
I think Shaw's improved going forward so much. I think he used to be like a Wan-Bissaka.
Robertson has 40 assists, Fergus. 40 from.
But who's he delivering to? He's delivering to Mohamed Salah. He's got a team. He's playing in a tactical system that allows him to bomb forward and allows him to get into the box and cross. We're playing in a tactical system where we're sort of just all over the place and just trying to hit someone on the counter,
Okay, I hear your argument. Again, I disagree. Of course I would. But this is very good fun to talk about it. What do you think, Tom? Would you play Luke out of form, overweight Luke Shaw, or would you play the Flying Scotsman on the left?
You're really selling this, aren't you?
I'm trying my best.
Yeah. But the best way I can put it is, if Shaw was coached by Klopp, he would be a better player than Robertson, in my opinion. I just think he's got he's got the defensive qualities. Put Luke Shaw in a proper system where you can get the best out of him, both going forward and defensively, where if he goes forward too far, it can be covered by another player, like such as where I said with Van Dijk and Trent, or Matip covers either one of them. If you have that cover where you can go behind, you've got a free roll to go and do whatever you want in the final third and deliver those killer balls. Shaw, for example, Champions League night against Atalanta, brilliant cross to Ronaldo, pick him out in a crowd of back five, 3 central defenders, big boy defenders in there, and pick a player out like that. It's hard thing to do playing against a back 3. It's hard enough playing against a back 2, but a back 3's a lot harder to do. I know, obviously, there's the debate to be had on, who's better and who's not. I don't really compare it on that. I go off of the basis of this season, and I would say Robertson has been better, yeah. But there's always the debate there of who you would pick or whatever. But if Klopp had both Robertson and Shaw in his team, I think he would get a better player out of Shaw than what you see right now, and possibly even better than what Robertson has been, in my personal opinion. But I would pick Robertson if I had to be honest.
Okay. Well, thank you for your honesty, and let's move into midfield. I'll just give you my midfield 3 and why. And it would be Fabinho, first name on the team sheet as the number 6, because he's one of my favourite players, one of my favourite Liverpool players, one of my favourite players in the world, because the Brazilians, they call the number 6 position the steering wheel. He's a beautiful steering wheel. He's the sort of polished captain's wheel on the great ship. And of course, he doesn't compare to, Fred and McTominay don't compare. Sorry. But alongside him, Pogba. I put Pogba on in current form. I think he's playing well for France. He's playing well for United. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Pogba. And on the other side, if he's fit, and you're gonna, I would pick Thiago. It's my 3.
Thiago.
You're gonna pick a different 3, of course you are. What's your 3 in midfield, Fergus?
So how are we playing this? Bruno does he?
We'll play it 4-3-3. Let's play it 4-3-3.
Yeah, a 4-3-3 just to keep it. I don't know. Just why not? We've got to keep it consistent, because if we're playing different formations, a combined 11 is quite hard. But if it's 4-3-3, what would you do?
In that case, I will play so I think Fabinho gives you the defensive stability. He's 100% in there. Pogba is a funny one. I think we all agree that Klopp's the manager here. I think Pogba's 100% a better player under Klopp, and you play him in the midfield. I have to fit in Fernandes, I think. Bruno goes in there 100% for me as well.
Okay.
I think he's game changer, Bruno. He single-handedly got us top 4.
He whinges all the time.
He's a game changer, He's
Mo Salah's a game changer. You don't see him whinging all the time.
But Bruno, he shows. I love Bruno. He's my favorite player because
Bruno's got more chance of winning
a
game.
His passion.
He's got more chance of winning a game than Thiago. Let's be honest.
Oh yes, in terms of the decisive.
Bruno picks out that killer pass. Yeah.
He does. He also kicks it into touch a fair amount, from what I've seen.
But that's what he does. He sort of just does his own thing. 1 in 3 of them will come off. That's why he's not really a stat player in terms of like balls lost, those sort of stats. You can't. That's not fair to look at them.
No, of course. He's a maverick, and he's always trying the crazy pass. But I think that could play into Liverpool's hands. You see, giving giving possession back to Liverpool. Yes.
Oh
he
no,
won't
we got the two best defensive midfielders in the world behind him. Don't you worry. Fred and McTominay
well,
saved the day.
Yeah, that's true. We have to get past them. Super Fred, you call him, don't you?
Fredinho.
Fredinho. Yeah, imagine if he was Brazilian. There you go. Okay, but I understand. You're going to go for the Maverick Bruno, Pogba, and Fabinho as well. Okay, what about you, Tom?
I would probably go with the same as Fergus. I think, honestly, on the basis of all of it, Fabinho's clearly the defensive player out of all three of them. He put Pogba and Fernandes in front of him. If that's a midfield, that's probably the best midfield in the world. If you want me to be honest, it's got everything. It's got the creativity. It's got the balance. It's got the defensive acumen. It's got the passing range, the vision. It's got everything that you'd want in a midfield. And there's not one of those in there who's going to be the should we say midweight or the lower weight in terms of they're not going to be outclassed by the other two. They're all going to do their own role. They're all going to do their own, brilliance and whatnot and what they can do. And they're all probably going to get the best out of each other if you put them in that midfield. Thiago, I would have put him in there from the Bayern Munich days, if I'm being honest. But Liverpool, I've not seen enough of him. I've not seen enough brilliance, if I'm being honest. There's not enough to say convincingly, right, Thiago should go in there ahead of Fernandes or Pogba, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting him in because he is very dreamy when he plays well, which is most of the time, to be fair.
It's a beautiful player.
Last season was a bit. I mean, it was his first season with us, and he was playing because Fabinho was injured, because we had and then Fabinho was playing in defence. He had not much cover behind him, and if there's one thing Thiago can't do, is turn and run. I don't think Pogba's particularly good at that either, and Fernandes doesn't bother doing that very much. And that could be a problem with this midfield three of ours, whoever we pick. But Thiago, alongside Fabinho, he's been amazing. It's a real master. This is, you're watching Picasso in his blue period when you're watching Thiago.
Are you not tempted by Naby Keita or even Jordan Henderson?
Naby. Yeah, well, no, Naby is a unique player, but he's definitely not good enough defensively, unfortunately. Jordan Henderson, I am a little bit tempted by him. I have
Is it the creativity?
It's in the number 8 role on the right. It's the way that he controls games as well. Again, the final product, the end product is he's nowhere near someone like Bruno, but he, in terms of keeping the team moving, 1-touch, 2-touch passes, in terms of his leadership, in terms of he's got this stunning pass that breaks lines as well. Jordan Henderson, I think he's an underrated player, and his work rate is brilliant, and so he's very, very useful for us. But I think his legs might have gone these days, unfortunately. We got to finish, but let me just ask you for your front three, because for me, it's when we're playing 4-3-3, I'm gonna play a false 9, and I really hesitate between Ronaldo and Firmino, but I'm gonna give you your guy, Ronaldo, playing maybe as a number 9 alongside Salah and Mane, and surely you're going to agree with me there, or you're going to put in Greenwood, Rashi. What do you think, Tom?
No. We've not seen enough of Rashford to make a case on that left-hand side. Sancho, again, not seen enough of him to make a case in terms of either of the sides. Greenwood, you've possibly got a slight, and I'm going to only put it as a slight argument, but
over Mane.
Yeah, over Mane. I'm not. You're not too. Salah's irreplaceable in that team. Let's be honest. In a front three, he's irreplaceable. He gets into any front three in the world right now, Salah, and you put him on the right. Mane, I'll agree with on the left. Not seen enough of anybody else to warrant an argument there. Firmino has been brilliant this season. I think he's been decent for you. He's the more creative minds of the front three, but when you've got Ronaldo, it's it's hard to go against somebody who's got that much pedigree.
Oh,
he disappeared. Maybe I pressed the wrong button. Oh no. We'll see if he comes back. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. I think I might have just pressed the wrong button and accidentally kicked him off the screen. Oh no.
oh,
Oh,
crikey.
dear. Amateur hour. I was getting too excited because on the other side of my screen I've got Roberto Firmino's stats. Hopefully Tom will come back. I'll send him a message to say sorry. But anyway, Firmino, looking at it, right? Bobby Firmino has 6 goals in 8 matches for Liverpool and 1 assist. How many's Ronaldo got for you, Fergus?
Um,
Do you know off the top of your head? If you don't, it's
4
okay. He's got
goals?
6 goals. No, 6
Oh,
goals,
okay.
6 goals in 8 matches as well, but no assists. Okay.
Yeah, you're more of a stat man than me. I saw.
Oh no, I'm just looking on fbref.com now.
Okay.
So that's why I don't know off the top of my head at all. But yeah, so 6 goals and 1 assist. So Firmino's ahead in terms of.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to tactical style. I genuinely think that. Okay, definitely Salah, Ronaldo. I think are nailed on. I don't think there's a debate between Ronaldo and Bobby Firmino. I think Firmino lacks finishing. I think he's a good sort of false 9 Pep Guardiola sort of player. But I do also acknowledge that Firmino isn't always given the chance to finish in a way. He's very unselfish in the way he does pass a lot of the time to a Salah, to a Mane. But this is quite a big shout, but I honestly think that I would love to get Mason Greenwood in this. It's not happening, but there's a bigger shout than you might think for Mason Greenwood, who I think is a superb player, and I think
he's brilliant. I think he's great. He's a wonderful player, but over Mane, really?
But under Klopp, I just think he'd be so good. Under Ole, I don't think he's improved that much since when he was 17 and scoring 30 for the under 23s. You know. I think Greenwood is that good. Under Klopp, under some tactical direction, I think it'd be phenomenal.
I think he would.
Maybe you might even want to play Greenwood over Ronaldo. And the fact that Ronaldo will give you only 2 years, but Greenwood's going to give you 15, you know? But I think it would be unfair of me to not say Sadio Mane, Ronaldo, Salah. I think that's my final answer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, very good. I mean, Sadio Mane, his stats are crazy this year as well. 6 goals in 11 matches, 8 in the Premier League and 3 in the Champions League. I mean, he's lost his burst of pace, but he's just dangerous in so many ways. He's still so unpredictable. And I think that brings us to the end then. I'm so sorry to have kicked Tom from the stream, but I thank him so much in absentia, and thank you, Fergus. It's been great, really nice talking to you. I feel very excited about the game. A quick prediction from you. What do you think is going to happen?
3-1 Manchester United.
Oh, 3-1, the start of a big run. Okay, I'm gonna say Liverpool are leaky at the back. I reckon United will score 2 goals, but Liverpool will score 5.
5?
5. Because honestly, this season, Sadio Mane scored, as I said, 6 goals. Bobby Firmino scored 6 goals, and Mo Salah has scored, I'll just bring it up here, 12 goals in 11 matches with 4 assists. It's kooky town in Liverpool. It's kooky town. The front 3, actually, forget it. I'm not playing Ronaldo in our combined 11. I'm sticking with Bobby, the genius. We're really hard to stop. I'm so sorry. But I think it's going to be 5-2.
Oh, ruthless.
Exactly.
Either way, I've absolutely loved having a chat. I'm not.
It's been great speaking to you. I think you cut out there a bit, but it's been great speaking to you. Thank you so much, Fergus. Have a great evening, and thanks everybody for watching. And may the best team win, as long as that team